hands of Islam.
Ibn relatou como Yaghsian, famoso pelas orelhas peludas e a barba grisalha, foi até as últimas consequências para afastar o inimigo. Mas ele sabia que qualquer cristão da cidade seria vulnerável à persuasão dos francos.
When he heard the approach of the Franks, he was not sure how the Christian people of the city would react. So he sent all the Muslims outside the city walls to dig trenches. And the next day, he sent the Christians by themselves to do the same task. When they were ready to return home at the end of the day, he refused to allow them in. Antioch is yours, he said. But you have to leave it to me until I found out what happens between us and the Franks.
Yaghsian acreditava que a situação estava controlada. O passo seguinte era cuidar da massa de cruzados reunidos nos portões da cidade.
Yaghsian is praised by all the sources about his good organization of the defense, night and day, night shifts, night guards, throwing oil at the crusaders, depriving them from food supplies, sending guards during the night to attack their camps, burn some of their tents, depriving them of water supplies. He really confronted the crusaders alone, and he fought vigorously to defend his city.
O esforço não foi em vão. Após 8 árduos meses, os cruzados não haviam avançado e estavam visivelmente desesperados. Além de a comida ser escassa, era preciso alimentar também os cristãos banidos. Com a passagem dos meses, os cruzados ficaram praticamente sem ter o que comer. O historiador Guilherme de Tiro narrou como os cruzados se viram obrigados a beber o sangue dos próprios cavalos.
Day by day, the shortage of provisions continued and the famine grew. And as a result, a pestilence broke out among the legions in the camp, so fatal that there was now scarcely room to bury the dead. With the loss of those who had wasted away through hunger and disease, and of others who had perished by the sword, the army had diminished to such an extent, it seemed as if barely half our numbers had survived.
Mas o sofrimento dos cruzados estava apenas começando. Em um texto islâmico da Idade Média, o Dr. Taef al-Azari descobriu como Yaghsian conseguiu pedir reforços bem diante do nariz do exército cruzado.
The answer was this: a pigeon. The Seljuk Turks were the first one to invent the postal service, kind of DHL of today. They will attach a message to the bird's leg and set it free. In a matter of hours, the message will come across and the help will arrive from anywhere in the Muslim world.
Dois meses depois, um guardião avisou que um exército turco estava a caminho. Os cruzados não tinham tempo e precisavam invadir a cidade rapidamente. Foi Peomundo quem encontrou uma brecha na defesa da cidade, um traidor entre os soldados muçulmanos.
He was an armorer, a maker of breastplates, named Firuz. He worked at the tower that stood over the riverbed, where the water flowed from the city into the valley. He had long served the ruler of Antioch, Yaghsian. But he sealed a pact with the Franks. They bribed him with a fortune in money and lands.
Firuz was the commander not only of one tower, but of 3 towers. Bohemond really hit gold dust. for whatever reason, he was ready to betray the city. And as so often happens, it was betrayal that let the enemy in, not a storming of the city.
All the preparations were made. Towards dawn, the knights and the foot soldiers began to approach the towers of which Firuz was warden.
And our captain Bohemond said to us, "Go on, strong in heart and lucky in your comrades, and scale the ladders into Antioch, for by God's will, this city shall be in our power in a trice."
What I'm looking for is what I've always wanted to find, which is Firuz's tower. Now, this is the foundation of a major tower, right on the angle of the wall where it plunges down to the south defences. And I don't think there can be anywhere else that this can be except the Tower of Firuz. The Crusaders had plenty of cover. They came up the hill beyond here, massed over this shelf. Firuz leaned over the wall and he swung a lantern.
We took the ladders and lashed them to the battlements of the city. An amazing number of men began to climb.
But then, of course, disaster. The ladder broke.
Era tarde demais para voltar. E o grupo continuou a escalar a muralha da Torre de Firuz. Em questão de minutos, a cidade foi tomada e os portões foram abertos para os outros soldados.
They flung the gateway open, and the men funneled into the city.
Depois de 8 meses de fome e doenças, não havia lugar para compaixão na vida dos cruzados. Guiados pelos cristãos locais, eles arrastaram os muçulmanos para fora das casas e das mesquitas. E os mataram indiscriminadamente.
The shrieks of countless people rose, making a terrifying noise throughout the city. But Bohemond did not waste any time on this account and ordered his glorious banner to be carried and set up on top of a wall opposite the citadel. Every street on every side was full of corpses, so that no one could endure to be there because of the stench. Nor could they walk along the narrow paths of the city, except over the bodies of the dead.
Everyone really was really massacred, was killed. The Jews, the Christians, the Muslims, and then spare really children or women or elderly. And they were really avenging and proving that they are really superior and they are the true and new master to the territory.
O único habitante de Antioquia que conseguiu escapar foi Iagisyan, o governante turco.